you, everybody. You'll have to excuse my dress. I'm looking for a yoga class, and I'm trying to be really discreet about my camel toe, but I have to be. You have to be ready and, wear yoga clothes, because at any time you might have the urge to jump into downward dog, and so thank you for being here. What a wonderful place. I'd like to start out with a tune I wrote about a man who kind of inspired me, and there were two guys back in the 60s when I was just wandering about trying to figure out what to do with myself, and let's see if it's going to work here. Yeah, a little heavy for this guitar, but one was, of course, named Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass music, and the other was a man named it's a little song about the other guy. Well, it rained all night in Frisco, now the clouds have rolled away, and the city lights are glistening out across the bay. Well, I think about Doc Watson, and I pick up my guitar to play. It's a Doc Watson morning, guitar picking kind of day. Now Doc's real name was Arthel. He played electrical guitar. The beauty of his melodies were known both near and far. Somewhere in the 60s, Doc picked up that D18. Started picking them homespun tunes, clear water from a mountain stream. So I pick up my old guitar and I start to play. Yeah. It's a Doc Watson morning, D18 guitar picking kind of day. Tennessee stud and the Black Mountain Blues. He left a legacy for me and for you. The sweetest song I ever heard him sing was with Miss Rosalie. Oh, my darling, my darling, my heart breaks as you take your long journey. In Deep Gap, North Carolina, some folks up there might say, hey, it's a Doc Watson morning, guitar picking kinda. Doc Watson morning, D18, guitar picking kinda. Doc Watson morning, D18, guitar picking. Hey, kind of day. Now, this is a bluegrass capo. I'm taking it off of this little guitar because it's really too monstrous for it. And but it's handmade in the Czech Republic, where I play a lot, or have in the past. Isn't that nifty? Somebody made that in their garage. yeah, brass. So, you know, you could, as you're facing retirement, you could be thinking of making capos for a living, you know. That would be good. All right, so I'll use a commercial capo here. This is a little guitar made by a guy up in Michigan. Conkley is his name. And made in the cold weather up there, you know. So all this wood sat around freezing for a long time. And you know from living in this kind of climate what that does to you. It makes you more resonant. Yeah, here we go. He'll steal your woman, then he'll rob your head. Panama red, Panama red. On his white horse Mescalito, he come breezing through town. Bet your woman's up in bed with old Panama red. Well, the judge don't know when red's in town. He keeps well hidden underground. Everybody's acting lazy, falling out and hanging round. My woman said, hey Pedro, you acting crazy like a clown. Nobody feels like working. Panama red is back in town. Panama red, Panama red. He'll steal your woman, then he'll rob your head. Panama red, Panama red. On his white horse Mescalito, he come breezing through town. I bet your woman's up in bed with old Panama red. I'll pick it, Panama. Freight train going so fast. Freight train going so fast. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know which way I've gone. When I'm dead, don't you bury me at all. Pickle my bones in alcohol. By my head place a snow white dove. Tell the world I died for love. Sing it now. Freight train going so fast. Freight train going so fast. Please don't tell them what train I'm on, so they won't know which way I've gone. When everybody's looking out for him, 'cause they know red satisfies. All the girls love to listen to him sing and tell sweet lies. When things get too confusing, darling, we're better off in bed. Don't you be searching all them joints downtown when you got Panama red, Panama red. He'll steal your woman, then he'll rob your head. Panama red, Panama red. On his white horse Mescalito, he come breezing through town. I bet your woman's up in bed with old Panama red. Oh, you got it perfect. Panama red. Ah, what a nice old town this is. Really wonderful place. I don't know why I've never been here before, but I just...
Where have you been?
I don't know where I've been. Not here. I was waiting for the perfect moment. Yeah. All right, here's one I wrote with a fellow named Bill Miller. Now, Bill is he's a wonderful man. He's from Iroquois, from upper state New York, of an Iroquois background, and he came over to my house, and he had just found out his wife was pregnant, and we started working on this song, and 9 months later he came over and said, I think it's tonight. And we finished the song, and it was that night. So this is about a person we run into quite a lot through the Southwest. This is called Tumbleweed. Far across the Mississippi, out on the open plains, in an Oklahoma cow town where the sky begins to rain, in a dusty run-down honky-tonk sits a drifting tumbleweed, thumbing through a magazine he can't even read. Tumbleweed remembers how the West was won and lost, the Homestead Act and the Dust Bowl, everybody paid the cost. The great white father promised to treat his children all the same, when Indian Territory was Oklahoma's name. Tumbleweed keeps rolling, he just roams from town to town. It ain't easy for a half-breed kid to try and settle down. Tumbleweed keeps rolling, he can't find no place to rest. The desert wind blows tumbleweed, the spirit of the West. Well, his boot heels tapping time to an old flat-top box guitar. He's a local guitar hero, he sings straight from the heart. And his tip jar is just a jungle of worn-out dollar bills. He makes his bread and grocery in the local bar and the grill. When he starts picking that old guitar, well, the people turn and stare. When he starts singing them songs he wrote, there's magic in the air. He can heal your wounded heart, he can set your spirit free. He can raise your hopes to be the very best that you can be. But the tumbleweed keeps rolling, he just roams from town to town. It ain't easy for a half-breed kid to try and settle down. Tumbleweed keeps rolling, he can't find no place to rest. Oh, the desert wind blows tumbleweed, the spirit of the West. So when you cross the Mississippi, you hit the open plains, you pass through Indian Territory where the sky begins to rain. And you're feeling kind of rootless, you can't find no place to nest. Just remember tumbleweed, the spirit of the West. The desert wind blows tumbleweed, the spirit of the West. Hey, hey, hey. tell you a story not long ago. High on a mountain in Idaho, I was living free. I sold a sawed-off shotgun to a deputy. Don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down. I got a wife and kids on Ruby Ridge, please don't shoot me down. They killed my good dog, they killed my boy, my only son, my pride and joy. They shot my wife dead on the floor, holding our baby in the cabin door. Don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down. I got a wife and kids on Ruby Ridge, please don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down. I got a wife and kids on Ruby Ridge, please don't shoot me down. If you take a notion and you want to go, build you a cabin in Idaho. In Idaho, you'll be living free. Don't sell no shotgun to no deputy. Don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down. I got a wife and kids on Ruby Ridge, please don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down, don't shoot me down. I got a wife and kids on Ruby Ridge, please don't shoot me down. Thank you. I've spent a number of years when I'm not on the road down in Texas, and then, meeting members of the Free Mexican Air Force and all, and that bunch of outlaws down there. But also spending time out in the West Coast, western Marin County, Point Reyes National Park, and getting into some of the history out there, when most of it's not that good. It's a sort of land grab, as usual. But there's a real interesting place there called Angel Island, and that's where the paper brides, or the mail order bribes, or the gold for the gold seekers and the railroad workers of California were kept in quarantine until you could bring the papers and buy your bride, as it were. And a lot of women from Japan and China were immigrants into the United States based on people putting a down payment on them, buying them, because there were a lot of Chinese and there was a lot of Irish. You put those people together, you got nothing but lonely men. And so a lot of Chinese girls came over, and a lot of Japanese, and Hawaii at the same time. Hawaii was being populated by the workers from the Philippines, the Portuguese people from the Philippines, and Japanese families came out there, and part of my family by marriage came out there to Kahuku and intermarried with the local Hawaiians there. And so part of my family is from that lineage of Asian Americans in Hawaii. And you may wonder why I'm telling you this, but it's because, a lot of early country music was really influenced by the music of Hawaii, and they in turn were influenced by the jazz coming out of the United States. And so I went out on Angel Island in the San Francisco Bay, and I saw all this, poetry of longing that was written on the walls in Chinese characters. And since then, they've really fixed the place up, made a state park out of it. I never go there. But it's a poignant place, and they've, put all that stuff under glass so you can see it. It's quite a bit of history there. It's a long way to go, but, Angel Island, the island of Oahu, you see traces of the immigration of the members of the families. Very interesting. So here's a song about the paper bride of Angel Island. Paper bride came all the way from China, Golden Gate to San Francisco Bay. Spent a lifetime on Angel Island, waiting for our wedding day. There's a fortune on Golden Mountain, staked my claim in the fall, left my bride on Angel Island. She wrote these words on the wall. One more lifetime, one more lifetime, one more lifetime loving you. There's a fortune on Golden Mountain, I staked my claim there in the fall, left my bride on Angel Island, writing these words upon that wall. Snowed in all winter on Golden Mountain. When I returned late in the spring, my bride was gone from Angel Island. No one knew where, no one knew when. One more lifetime, one more lifetime, one more lifetime loving you. Now I live my life like a Chinese painting. Shadows wash against the sky, empty brush strokes for my darling. We never said our last goodbye. One more life Thank you. I have a new CD that we've just put out. It's called the Dharma Blues, and I'm trying to figure out what key to play it in. But got it here tonight, and this is a record of kind of a diary of a spiritual journey that took me out of the United States and into strange and foreign lands, southern Tibet and Nepal, India, Japan. And I don't know, as soon as I got there, it was a Buddhist pilgrimage, and as soon as I got there into these Buddhist lands, some door or portal in my brain opened up, and all these songs came through from my studying and hanging out in these old sacred spots where there's this enlightened energy. And took a long time to record it. It was 12 years after I had written it, and I'd already performed it at Humboldt State University in California, which is a good place to debut something a little different. And then finally, 7 years ago, we recorded it at the record plant in Sausalito, and it has Gillian Welch on it, Jack Cassidy from the Jefferson Starship, Manoj Singh, a wonderful flute player from Nepal. So Jody Stecker on the 5-string, on the banjo, the fretless banjo, and some ancient Indian instruments that nobody knows how to pronounce the name of. And a wonderful group of people helped me make this record, and now 7 years later, it's finally in print. And it's on a record label appropriately called Omnivore. So, and I'll play you one of those songs from there, and then I want to invite a special friend of mine up to play with me a little. Member of my bluegrass band. Way downtown where the trucks roll by, I thought I heard my baby sigh. It's a restless world all tattered and torn. Death comes without warning. It's a house of cards all ready to fall. Money makes beggars of us all. So I lit a match to see if I could see. Is the gas tank full or empty? I bid farewell to the ghost inside. Went down to the river to see my bride. Oh, you know. She knows. Yeah, you know. She knows. She's radiant as the bright sunrise. She got the moonlight dancing in her eyes. She comes to me at the break of day, chasing all my cares and my blues away, talking about my wisdom woman, talking about my wisdom girl, talking about my wisdom woman, talking about my wisdom girl. You know. western sky. In a shady grove by the river bend, I will go to see my bride again, talking about my wisdom woman, talking about my wisdom girl, talking about my wisdom woman, talking about my wisdom girl. Oh, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. She knows, she knows, she knows, she knows, she knows. You know, you know, you know, you know, you know. She knows, she knows, she knows, she knows, she knows. Yeah, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know. She knows, she knows, she knows, she knows, she knows. You know, you know, you know, you know, you know. She knows, she knows, she knows, she knows, she knows. Thank you so much. Thank you, appreciate that. Thank you. I'd like to invite to the stage a man who's been traveling with me now a number of years. He's played all these tunes before they were tunes. Mr. Paul Knight on the bass. And tonight is the debut of a very special musical instrument that Paul invented. We don't know what to call it exactly. But all right. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. When I was a bluegrass boy working for Bill Monroe, the father of bluegrass music, we used to play the Grand Ole Opry on a Saturday night and then climb aboard his old bus called the Bluegrass Breakdown and drive north up to Indiana to a little town called Bean Blossom, home of the Brown County Jamboree. And that's where Bill's little country music park was. And we would often get there just before showtime, and because the Bluegrass Breakdown had a way of breaking down, actually. And you'd hear Bill as we come rolling in there, "Get your musics out, boys. They want to hear it." And we're like, the bus is like, you know, we're like, "Get your musics out." We're trying to tie your tie, and you had to wear a hat and tie and a suit and all that stuff, being a bluegrass boy. What happened then? So we left the Grand Ole Opry, we drove all night, and then by about 6 o'clock in the morning, the Bluegrass Breakdown lived up to its name, and we were stranded on the highway near Horse Caves, Kentucky. And I was standing outside the bus and watching the beautiful sunrise over the mountains to the east, and the canyons right there in front, and the birds rising up with the first thermals coming up out of the canyons. And Bill Monroe walked up to me. He came off the bus and walked right up to me, and he said, "Pete Rones, you listen good to this, and don't you ever forget it." And he sang these opening lines to this song, and we wrote it together. It's called "The Walls of Time." Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. And down o'er the valley way below, and take her to that home on high. I'll wait my time out here on earth, love, and come to you when I die. Our names are carved upon the tombstone. I promised you before you died. Our love will bloom forever, darling, when we rest side by side. The Lord that home on high. I wait my time out here on earth, love, and come to you when I die. I hear a voice out in the darkness. Well, it moans and whispers through the pine. I know it's my sweetheart calling. I hear her through the walls of time. The Lord send the angels for my darling and take her to that home on high. Wait my time out here on earth, love, and come to you. When I die. Oh. What originally drew me to bluegrass music was that I had a little rock and roll band around the Boston area, and we used to play these things called sock hops. And the DJs were playing, like, doo-wop music and stuff that kids down in Philadelphia had recorded, and their girlfriends would bring them little 45 RPM. I almost said CD. You see, 45 RPM CD. They would bring these 45 RPM vinyl records, and the DJs would play them, and the dances were free. It was a way of advertising rock and roll music. It was just coming in, and you'd hear this news. You'd listen to the radio at night. Rock and roll riot in Saugus. Oh. Oh, jeez. How do you get there? Yeah, Narragansett Park in flames, rock and roll rioting, it's like, there's nothing going on, nothing going on. Boston was such a boring place, they had to invent rock and roll riots as like, so we get out there and we playing, rocking on, and the girls would be doing that bop, and, in their bare feet, and we had fun. And it was called the Cupids. My band was called the Cupids, and we were young enough to be able to pull that off. Can you imagine a Cupid reunion? Those little cherub-cheeked boys. What happened to them? Yeah, well, we may pull that off, actually. But there was a record store in Harvard Square, Harvard Square, and Harvard, potato, and so after the show we'd start hanging out in Harvard Square because the shows were over early, and we'd heard there were beatniks in Harvard Square, and it was like, that sounded good, almost like a rock and roll riot. And let's go see what that's about. And funny enough, there was a jazz club in Boston called the Paul's Mall, where, we were underage, you couldn't go there, but you could go to the coffee houses around Harvard Square and sit there very quietly drinking your cup of extremely strong coffee for a 14-year-old kid to be drinking. But what the heck, you're going to be up all night just on adrenaline. And there were these guys, these black guys in turtlenecks and little berets and stuff. They're like playing conga drums. And, I'd been ballroom dancing and square dancing, but I never felt that groove like these guys were playing. And it turns out they are part of Miles Davis's band. They're going over to Paul's Mall in Boston from Cambridge and play a show that night. And they were, you know what the word cool means? They were cool. Mm-hmm. Sports coat, turtleneck, little goatee. Sometimes they'd sing along while they played. It's like, these are not humans. But they were music, for sure, And so we started going over to, was it Wurlitzer's record store? It was a musical instrument place that sold organs. And no one was buying Hammond organs at the time. They soon would be for the rock and roll that was coming in. But they were selling records, and you could go and sit in a record booth, not with earphones like going, a little world of music, but you go in a booth and it was like spacious. You could take 10, I almost said CD again. You could take 10 RPM, 33 RPM LPs, long playing, or 45 RPMs, and you could listen to them one after the other, and nobody said, "Hey, that's used, man. You got to discount that." If you went into a store today and everybody let you buy CDs that people had listened to, they would, it's got to be discounted. Well, in those days, no, those records were still new, and you were like a guardian of the record while you played it. Black vinyl, shining, beautiful, or somewhere transparent red plastic, or blue, the coolest looking discs you've ever seen. You put them down on the turntable and very carefully lift up the needle. And then you hear like Leadbelly singing, in the pine, where the sun never shines. And one day I was listening to Leadbelly, and one day I picked up this record by a guy named Bill Monroe, and I was starting to really kind of get into the idea of bluegrass because the Lilly Brothers and Tex Logan and Don Stover were playing over at the Hillbilly Ranch, and I'd already played on the show. They let me in, and on a Sunday afternoon I was part of the band. They never asked. This is jumping 2 years, 3 years ahead in my chronological mind. And in the Hillbilly Ranch, they're playing all these same songs that Leadbelly was playing. And so I put on the Bill Monroe record, and sure enough, it's the Mule Skinner Blues And there he's singing, in the pines where the sun never shines. And I thought, all right, drew the connection. Blues, bluegrass. Want to play that one for you now. The longest train I ever saw went down that Georgia line. The engine passed at 6 o'clock, and the cab passed by at 9. In the pines where the sun never shines, and we shivered when the cold wind blows. Ooh, 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 ah, ooh. Where did you get those high button shoes and the dress you wear so fine? I got my shoes from a railroad man. I got my dress from a driver in the mine. In the pines where the sun never shines, and we shivered when the cold wind blows. My captain for the time of day. He said he'd throw his watch away. The long steel rail and the short cross tie. I'm on my way back home. In the pines where the sun never shines, and we shivered when the cold wind blows. Ooh, ooh, ooh. the pines, in the pines, where the sun never shines, and we shivered when the cold wind Well, 100 miles from nowhere, out on the desert sand, One-Eyed Jack the trader held some turquoise in his hand. By his side sat running elk, his longtime Indian friend. He vowed that he would stay by Jack until the bitter end. Jack had gambled everything he owned to lead this wandering life. He might have had a happy home or a tender loving wife, but his hunger was for trading, trapper's furs for turquoise stone. Anything that the Indians had, Jack wanted for his own. Oh, the wind blows cold on the trail of the buffalo. Oh, the wind blows cold in the land of the Navajo. In the land of the Navajo. Said Jack to running elk, I'll gamble all my precious stones before I leave my body here among these bleaching bones. For now my time is drawing near, and I'm filled with dark regret. My spirit longs to journey as the sun begins to set. We've raped and killed, we stole your land, we ruled with guns and knives, fed whiskey to your warriors as we stole away your wives. Said running elk, what's done is done. You white men rule this land. So lay the cards face up and play your last broken-hearted hand. Oh, the wind blows cold on the trail of the buffalo. The Navajo. And you're dealing cards with death. The joker's wild, the ace is high. Jack bet the Mississippi River, a running elk raised him the sky. Jack saw him with the sun and moon, and he upped him with the stars. Running elk, he bet the Rocky Mountain, Jupiter and Mars. And the sun was sinking in the west when Jack drew the ace of spades. Running elk just rolled his eyes, he smiled and passed away. Jack picked up his turquoise stones, cast them to the sky. He stared into the setting sun and it made a mournful cry. Oh, the wind blows cold on the trail of the buffalo. Ooh, the wind blows cold in the land of the Navajo. In the land of the Navajo.
So I saw Miles Davis at the Jazz Workshop, or Paul's Mall. They did let you in. I was like 16. And they let you in back in those days. And Miles talked to me. You know, he actually said something to me. He said, "Move." It's little things like that mean a lot to a musician. You know? I think he even touched me on the shoulder when he said it. Okay, he's still looking, so I'll tell you the whole ugly story. I was sitting in a little suburban basement with my little teenage boyfriends and girlfriends and having nothing to do, and I was, damn it, Miles Davis is playing right in the city, and we're sitting here in this basement doing nothing. Our life is crap. You know, I was just fuming, you know, my little teenage rage. But, you know, they said, okay, we'll go in there. And there's like 8 of us. I was like, 8 underage kids. We're not going to get a seat at Paul's Mall, you know. But I'll take the ride, because I can probably get in. I'll hitch back if they'll. And so we get in there, and there's only one table left. And it's right in the corner by the stage, and it can fit all of us. So they let us in, and we walk on in there past all these real hip folks, and they're looking at these suburban, you know, teenage kids, and oh, interesting. Well, they want to see Miles. Good for them, all right, you know. And we sit down and order some drinks, and after a little while, I get a tap on the shoulder, move. And the band goes out there, and it's the heaviest Miles band. It's got the 2 keyboard players, both with wah-wah pedals. He's wearing the big glasses like that. Everything's electrified, and it's out there, you know. It's just so cool. And it blows my mind. I can't imagine what I'm seeing. And it blows all my suburban teenage friends' mind, too. And they're like, what is this shit? We're going to go home. I'm like, you can't. I mean, just give it a minute. You know. So here there's the crowd and Miles. And I didn't see the expression on his face, but I wonder what it was when these 8 teenage kids walked right up past the stage and down the center aisle and out the door. Too bad it wasn't YouTube back then, because that should have been posted.
Yeah, well, Miles was intimidating, too. Those big square glasses are like a mouse with rectangular eyes. Let's see, we'll try one more from the Dharma Blues here. Ain't no God up in heaven, ain't no devil down below. Ain't no God up in heaven, ain't no devil down below. Just these blue Dharma blues follow everywhere I go. A lonesome pine tree standing on a mountain so high. A lonesome pine tree standing on a mountain so high, right over there by the Wobbin Reservoir. I hear a bell ringing, ringing in an empty sky. Dharma Blues. If you see my baby, tell her I'm doing my time. If you see my woman, tell her I'm doing my time. Will I love her with my body? Thank you. We'll do one more here with Paul before I send him off to do his homework. You know, he's only allowed to come on the road if he does his homework, and he's well, not yet, but you know, we just don't want to get off on a bad footing here. Pretty cool little peach fuzz for a 14-year-old kid right here, you know? Yeah, you notice we don't use tuning machines on our instruments. It kind of takes all the tension out of the music to be perfectly in tune. So we tend to tune to a feeling, as you've noticed, I'm sure. If we'd had tuners, the 60s never would have happened. Yeah. We had our own strobes. It was like, oh yeah, man. That's in. Yeah, that's in. All right. One more from the Dharma Blues for you. From time without beginning, all my ancient parents have shown me great kindness in lifetime after lifetime. In confusion and sorrow, we wander now in darkness. Birth, old age, sickness, and death like a shadow close behind. When I think of how you loved me and you cared for me so kindly, fed and clothed me and kept me from all harm. Oh, I want to take you with me across samsara's waters, like a child running to its mother's arms. Love and compassion, lightning flashing. Fill the sky, and every living, breathing being finds happiness and wisdom mine, bodhicitta mine. Primordial radiant wisdom, help us to overcome old samsara's rushing tide. Lotus born in muddy water, Padma Sambhava, free from hatred, jealousy, and Paul Knight. Thank you, Paul. Man, he just gets a groove going. Oh, my goodness. The band that opened the show, I hope you're still here. Why don't you come on up here and bring your instruments up here? Well, if you ever feel lonesome and you're down in San Antone, beg, steal, or borrow 2 nickels or a dime, call me on the phone. Well, I'll meet you at Alamo Mission. We can say our prayer. The Holy Ghost and the Virgin Mother will heal us as we kneel there in the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight, in the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight. If you ever feel sorrow for the love you have wrong, with no hope for tomorrow, in the setting of the sun, and the ocean is howling with dreams that might have been, that last good morning sunrise will be the brightest you ever seen. In the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight, in the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight. Let me hear you. In the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight. In the moonlight, in the midnight, in the moonlight, midnight, moonlight. Thank y'all. We're going to do this old-time bluegrass style because we just don't have a whole lot of microphones. Which means get out of the way. Somebody is coming through. So the way it works is I move to my left. But that's not going to work. This capo is just not going to happen. And everybody else circles to the right. It's like that. Hold on. This highly rehearsed show is being recorded for posterity. So, you're doing fine, honey. Good. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of go like this, and she's going to go like that. And she's not going to stick me in the eye with her fiddle bow. And I'm not going to bash her in the head with my guitar stock either. This is where it really comes down. This is what bluegrass is all about, is not hurting anyone. So this is a tune I wrote some years ago, I believe, is it right? The High Lonesome Sound. Well, get your mama, get your papa, get your sister, get your brother. Ain't a Lucy gonna show Uncle John boogie woogie while a kissing cousin chasing chicken out on the old back lawn. Y'all come of one another just to do a little picking if this old bus don't break down. Campfire burning in the night, my heart is yearning for the side of the old campground. And that high lonesome sound when that evening sun goes down. I'll dance right off the ground when I hear a fiddle play that high lonesome sound. Well, bring along your lawn chair for sitting in the fresh air and the cooler for the beer to watch the show. Toe tap and syncopated music playing loud, and the girls are looking pretty, don't you know? Look at old Grandpappy feeling kind of snappy, seem like he just don't care. He's over 93, he's a surprise, you and me just dancing to the music in the air. It's that high lonesome sound when that evening sun goes down. I'm gonna dance right off the ground when I hear a fiddle play that high lonesome sound. Yonder comes a mandolin, and the banjos are right in tune. Bull fiddle slap leather, woo! I'm howling at the moon. Hey, Mr. Fiddleman, play us on a little jam. That's the way Monroe say Uncle Penn taught him to play riding on the back of a mule. And that high lonesome sound when that evening sun goes down. I'm gonna dance right off the ground when I hear a fiddle play that high lonesome sound. I hear a fiddle play that high lonesome sound. Too much. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do this one more song. This is a kind of like a hip-hop song from the yesteryear's days of bluegrass music. Thank you all for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Who's going to kick this thing?
Those goes.
It's going to be like this, though.
Okay, I got it.
Rolling in my sweet baby's arms. I know your parents don't like me. They drove me away from your door. If I had my life to live over, I'd never go there anymore. Running my sweet baby's arms, running my sweet baby's arms. Lay around the shack till the train comes back and rolling my sweet baby's arms. Hey. On the railroad, ain't gonna work on the farm. I'm gonna lay around the shack till the mail train comes back and roll in my sweet baby's arms. Roll in my sweet baby's arms, roll in my sweet baby's arms. Lay around the shack till the mail train comes back and roll in my sweet baby's arms.
I know your parents don't like me. They kicked me away from your door. And if I had to live my life over, honey, I wouldn't go over there no more. Rolling my sweet baby's arm, rolling my sweet baby's arm. Lay around the shack till the mail train come back, rolling my sweet baby's arm.
Mama's a beauty operator. Sister can weave and can spin. Daddy owns an interest in that old cotton mill. Lord, how that money rolls in everybody. Rolling